To say that I love the book of Psalms would be an understatement. I love it so much that I preached all 150 Psalms. It took me 3 years to preach not just a Psalm a week, but when we got into Psalm 119, it has 176 verses. And so I preached several sermons out of Psalm 119. But in Psalm 1, he says this: "Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked." Now, if I'm going to teach my children and my grandchildren about wicked people, I have to give them some characteristics to look for. I mean, I don't want them to judge people, but I want them to understand what God's talking about. You don't walk in the way of wicked people. So let me take you over to Psalm 10, and he's going to give you 4 characteristics of wicked people. Starts in verse 2. Talking about wicked people, it says this: "In his arrogance, the wicked man hunts down the weak." So I would say to you, if someone is arrogant, you need to step back and say, here's a yellow flag. Now, there are people that are very confident, and they almost appear to be arrogant, but sometimes they're just confident because God has given them confidence. But arrogance says, I did it. Confidence in God says, He did it. And so I want you to teach your kids to be cautious when it comes to wicked people. First characteristic: in his arrogance, he hunts down weak people. He preys, not P-R-A-Y-S, but P-R-E-Y-S. He preys on the weak. So don't hang with those wicked people. Secondly, in verse 3, it says, he boasts of the cravings of his heart. He knows, I'm the best. And so he puts himself first. Arrogance and boasting. Listen to people. If they're always talking about themselves and how they did this right and how they did that right and how nobody else can do it as good as them, there's something going on there. And God says, another yellow flag. Now, if all these flags go up the post, then it's a red flag. So let me give you the third one. They're arrogant and they boast. Verse 4, in his pride, the wicked does not seek God. In all his thoughts, there is no room for God. So he's arrogant, he boasts, and he's prideful. He's got this pride that says he did it, not God. And then, I guess it kind of reminds me of Samson. Samson said, I have all this strength. Let me read verse 6 here. He says to himself, nothing will shake me. That's where Samson was. He thought he had the strength in himself. But his strength came from the Lord. And when God took his strength away, the Bible says he did not know that his strength had left him and that the Lord had left him. Let me give you another one. Fourth characteristic of wicked people. By the way, why am I telling you this again? So that you can warn your kids and you can warn your own life. When you hear people that are arrogant and boast and prideful, start backing away. You want them, you're not afraid to share Christ with them, but you're not going to seek counsel from them. Fourth characteristic of a wicked person, his mouth is full of curses and lies and threats. Man, did you hear that? I mean, he's giving you, he paints the picture. Don't hang with these wicked people. And again, I'm telling you this so that today as you go out, you don't judge people, but you're cautious. You need to be salt and light today in the world and not seek counsel from wicked people who are 4 things: arrogant, boastful, prideful, and his mouth is full of curses. Let's ask God to alert us to these people today so that we can share the Lord with them, but not be like them and not seek their counsel.